back to another episode of Lights Out with Ish and Eve. I'm Ish and this is Eve, and we are back to discuss the piece of controversy plus mostly snooze fest that was Singapore. There was certainly some controversy. It was not without controversy.
Oh my god. Bruh, I'm just like, can we just have like a moment to breathe? Can we have peace for once? Please.
Not even one time.
Apparently not. There's not like, obviously we'll get there, but like, can we just live? Like, can we just live with none of this? Like, does there have to be McLaren team orders controversy every single week?
Yeah.
Does there have to be?
Yeah, and I fear it will only get worse from here on in for you.
I know. Unless they do what they should have been done this whole season, and now that they've won the constructors, they just go.
Well, I think that's part of what that was like, constructors is in the bag, so have at it.
But it's my problem with it, to spoil it for everybody straight away, 2 seconds in, my problem with it is that it's not consistent with what they've done the whole year.
Yes.
Like, and it's clear by Oscar's response that wasn't made clear in their team briefings.
Correct.
So it seems like they have just gone, and I think realistically, racing incident, he should do that. But like the fact that McLaren have been micromanaging things means that it's kind of not okay. But like if they hadn't done anything the whole year and they just let them have at it, there would be no issue and Oscar would have nothing to say on the radio. But because they've done this whole thing the whole time, then it's like not fair, and then it's got like brought it in, and like it's just like, well, what do you think was going to happen when you try and micromanage your drivers?
Totally. I guess we might as well just unpack it all now.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing else to talk about, so.
I know. So obviously, start of the race, Lando drives basically straight into Oscar. He was avoiding Max, ended up also hitting Max though, and then kind of bounced into Oscar as part of that rumble-tumble
move. Yeah.
Yes.
And from Oscar's onboard, it would have felt like a straight-out shove.
Absolutely.
But,
and I think Oscar was very good in the press afterwards, not giving them a headline and saying, I haven't reviewed the footage. Like, and look, obviously in the heat of the moment, he was pissed. Understandably. Because as you've just unpacked, like, I think the two things can coexist of Lando made a move that was shit because it was his teammate. But also, Oscar's response is valid because up until now, anytime there's been some sort of advantage or mistake or issue that's happened between the two drivers, McLaren has stepped in and fixed it. So it was fair enough for Oscar to assume that they would do that again in these circumstances.
Yeah, because it was that point in time where, like, he's made a mistake. He kind of, the fact that he accidentally hit Max and it pitched him into Oscar, that was his mistake, sure. Racing incident, definitely. But the fact that, that it's his teammate and McLaren have, when there's been things that have been like, because when the slow pit stop happened in Monza, they were like, swap it back. And then it was like, well, that's part of racing. And then now they've gone, that's part of racing. But last time, a pit stop is also part of racing and you swapped it back. So it's kind of like, what?
Yes.
Like, is it, what's happened? What's the rule? Like, what's the go now? But if they hadn't done that at all, then this wouldn't be an issue.
Yes.
Like, Oscar would have just been like, shit, he got me. That felt like a shove. He might have been pissed, like, what is he doing? But there wouldn't be an ask for them to rectify it.
Exactly. The precedent was there. But
yeah. So I just think the whole thing is so dumb.
No, totally. And like what I don't understand is people online who are like, oh, like, screw Lando, like, he was just so shitty teammate, bad driver, blah, 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 and then, like, didn't, give the place back he should have. And it's like, well, no. And you can't, like...
Unless he's asked to, he's not going to.
Well, yeah, and all we've talked about with Lando really is, like, he needs to be more aggressive. He, like, needs to, like, both McLaren
Is this good enough for you for a villain moment?
Both McLaren drivers need to stop being like, oh, no, you go. Oh, no, you go. And Lando didn't do that
He's finally done that.
Now crucify him for doing that like doing the thing we wanted him to do. Like when he got asked if Oscar should pit first, he was like, yeah, wait, no.
I love that. I was like, and oh my God, lucky he said no.
Yeah.
Because we nearly had Monza 2.0.
I know.
And that would have been so complicated if he had given the thing back because of what happened at the start. And that's like, if you don't put yourself in these situations, you don't get these things happening. It's like, you've done this.
I know.
You've done this. And you've put both the drivers in a shit situation.
Yes.
And I'm sick of it. Can we not? Like, it should have been like this the whole year. Where it's just like, have at it. We're not going to get involved.
Yes.
You can just do your thing.
Totally.
And that is what it is. And then they can do that. And like, yeah, as I said, Oscar would just be like, shit, he got me. That's not good. Sure. I need to go and get him back.
For sure. And I understand the element of like wanting to manage the constructors. And obviously we're now at the pointy end. And now the constructors is obviously done. Woohoo, McLaren. Good job. We all saw it coming.
Congratulations.
10 races ago.
No one's surprised. Yeah.
I saw some good memes that were like, McLaren are constructors champions. No one cares. Like
everyone knew that was gonna happen. Like it's my team and I was still like, okay.
Yeah. Cool,
like I hate you now.
Saw
like
that coming a mile
you're pissing
away.
me off. But it was like you as a team, Lando and Oscar, still my drivers, still support them both.
Yes.
McLaren,
yes.
The team are on my naughty list. I'm not like.
Yeah. Look,
no.
That being said, I am glad that they didn't step in because, again, all we were complaining about in Monza was why McLaren trying to micromanage a championship. So I'm glad that they didn't step in. It's just, there's clearly been a shift now, which they talked about a lot in the commentary. There's clearly been a shift. Constructors is done. So, like, I mean, that's the only variable that's changed is constructors is done.
I know.
So this is kind of now the new standard, the new normal of what's okay.
And but the only reason, you're 100% right. Like, the only reason it's a problem is because it hasn't been the precedent the whole year. So now Oscar is completely valid to say, well, that's unfair because
valid
it's not
response.
what you've been doing all year.
Totally. But now Oscar knows. So you've got 6 races to go?
6 races, and he's still leading. He only lost 3 points to Lando.
Which is not enough if he's biting away that amount every time.
Every race, exactly. So, and George is now closer to Max than Max is to Lando. So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. George is like 30 points off of Max, and Max is like 40 points off of Lando still. Huh. So it's like...
Well, yeah. I don't see that being an issue. But
none of it's going to be a problem. One of the McLarens is going to win it. I don't think Max is far enough ahead, unless McLaren have multiple Bakus.
Yeah, I'm not like fully confident in like I'm definitely not as confident after Singapore that it will 100% be a McLaren that wins the championship. The fact that Singapore has always been Red Bull's bogey track, and now
and he's still finished ahead of the McLarens.
Yeah. And we're coming into COTA, Brazil, Mexico, where Max is quick. Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, almost all the rest of the tracks. Bar maybe Qatar, which is a very McLaren track, and like Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi's a bit,
Yeah, but a lot of the ones coming up are very Max-centric tracks. So I'm definitely, it's still an outside chance, but I'm not counting him out by any means.
Yeah. Yeah, I still am like quite confident, but definitely less confident, as you said. But like, I'm still like, as long as the McLarens are up there, he can't close enough. Like, if it's like it was in Singapore, he can't close enough. The gap is too big. But if the McLarens aren't up there as well, that's when the door is wide open. And
if McLaren's gloves are coming off and they start getting a little bit racy and maybe one of them takes the other out, or, you know, if those circumstances start to happen, that fully opens the door for Max.
100%. 100%. It's going to be a very stressful end to the year.
Yes.
And there was always going to be a moment like this where this happens and it flips to like, okay, constructors is done, have at it. But it just clearly wasn't communicated within the team. I'm very curious to hear Oscar's comments now that he has seen the offboard, because Lando didn't shove him. Like, he kind of just like pitched into him a little bit.
Yes.
And I don't think he meant to hit him. Like,
No.
It wasn't, but like at the end of the day, contact was made and it was Lando's fault.
Yes. For sure.
And I kind of get the FAA was like,
yeah, nah, not touching that with
we're
a
not
10-foot
touching
pole.
that. Yeah. FAA was like, no.
Absolutely not.
The team can deal with that. We are not getting involved. And I get that. Like, I do get, like, if you strip away the championship, strip away the teams, lap 1, turn 3.
Totally. If that was
kind of get it,
any other driver on any other team, we wouldn't really be talking about it. It'd be like, oh, Lando did this.
There was a
racing incident.
Bit of contact.
Yeah, lap 1 racing incident. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But because it's obviously these two, it's a thing.
It is.
But
and I also think that, like, they were, Lando is very lucky that neither of them came off with more damage.
Yes.
Because if that had happened and it had very nearly sent Oscar into the wall, if Oscar had gone into the wall, this would be a very different discussion.
Absolutely.
And Oscar would be on his Michael Schumacher, like, storming down the pit lane, like, that's what we would see.
Yes.
And I'm very glad that didn't happen. This is enough. This is fine.
Yeah, we're good.
Compared to that.
Yes.
Yeah, this is enough.
Yes. Unfortunately, though, that was probably the most exciting part of the race. It then got a little snoozy from there. But let's go back to Friday.
Let's go back to Friday.
I mean, well, actually, coming into the weekend, a few things. One was obviously Lewis's dog Roscoe passed away, which was very sad. And I think a lot of people were hoping that he would have a good weekend in, like, memory of him, but unfortunately it was not to be.
Ferrari, so
and his car fell apart. Yeah, it was really just not thriving.
Oh. Did he end up getting a penalty?
He did. Yeah, so he lost the place to Alonso.
And he lost 43 seconds on the last lap to Alonso.
Yeah, it was bad. You know what else was bad?
Anyway.
Was the F1 TV direction. Like, Alonso is coming after Hamilton at a rate of knots, and we're looking at, like, crowd shots and, like, garage shots. Like,
it's like we knew McLaren was going to win the constructors. No one cares. Show us if there's going to be an overtake on this boring race.
Yeah, like right on the final corner it would have been. Like, show us that. The race is still happening. I don't care what's going on outside of that. When the race is finished and all cars have crossed the line,
then we can look at that.
Then show me that. That was
100%.
terrible.
Anyways. Because the commentary was like, I don't know why we're looking, like, the commentary, like, called it out as well, which is so funny.
I know.
We're like, what are we doing? Why are we looking at this?
Literally.
Oh my god. Anyways.
The other thing coming into the weekend was there was, like, a heat hazard condition declared, which, like, I mean, we were there last year, which was fun.
It is very hot.
It was hot.
I can confirm.
Yes. It's weird, though. So the heat hazard means that they have to fit these, like, cooling components into the car. And, like, drivers can choose if they want to wear, like, a cooling vest or not. I'm sure all of the teams probably would have fitted those components anyways. So, whatever.
But, like, in practice they were talking about, like, some of them had, some of them hadn't. Of, like, the actual vest. But then if you didn't wear the vest, you had to put, I think it was a 0.5 kilo weight in your car to, like, make
balance
it even.
Out. Yeah.
For those who are wearing the vest.
Yeah, so you, like, might
But
as
I think
well.
a lot of them were, like, trying it out in practice.
Yes.
To see if the cooling vest was working. I mean, I haven't heard that anyone got heat stroke this year. So
yeah. George Russell looked a lot
good.
better post this race than he did in that Drive to Survive episode.
Yeah, he also had won the race, and he looked exhausted. He didn't do his little hop on the podium, and I was very disappointed. But
I feel like he almost forgot to do his tea. I was waiting for it.
He did forget to do his tea. I was like, come on, do the thing. And
then he remembered, and I was like, okay.
And I was like, yeah, we can move on now. That's like my favourite part of a George Russell win.
Literally. Like, otherwise, I'd let someone else.
No, I like a George Russell win sprinkled in the season because it makes it more fun.
And I like that it was in Singapore because he's had a tough run of it in Singapore. I did make the joke watching it when the little 10 laps to go graphic came up. I was like, 9 laps till George puts it in the wall. That was mean of me.
Yeah, but it is true and it is funny. And he did speak about it. He was like, I've gotten my revenge on this place. Like,
yes. I know.
It's been rectified from a couple of years ago, but he did his obligatory Singapore crash in practice.
Yes.
So, because he crashed in practice last year in Singapore too.
Yes.
So,
yes. So he still ticked those boxes. The bingo cards were still good.
Correct. But
anyways, let's get into practice. So FP1, Albon's car had a brake fire very early on in the session.
A really bad one. Like a really bad brake fire.
Yeah.
It was like smoke everywhere and they couldn't put it out for ages.
Yeah.
I was like, take the tyre off.
I was like, it's hot enough. Put the fire out.
Yeah, please.
But that was, I'm glad they kind of got that under control, but it obviously ended his session. There was like a few lockups and offs and wobbles, but nothing like too crazy.
Standard, yeah.
Yes. Alonso went fastest overall.
He was looking really quick.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk of Aston Martin coming into this weekend expecting to be quite good.
Yeah.
And I mean...
And Alonso ticked it off.
Yes. Stroll, he wasn't at the back.
His radio message in qualifying was really, really funny.
Stroll's
after he
message?
got knocked out in Q1. Yeah, and he was like, it's bad, it's always just so bad. And then I'm like, your teammate is in Q3.
Yeah.
Is it that bad? Or are you bad?
Who's to say?
Everything points towards the latter, but I'll let you figure that one out. Anyways, Alonso was looking really fast. Charles was looking good.
Yeah, Ferrari were looking okay. Oscar at one point, speaking of Ferrari, got very sassy on the radio to Lewis, who was like slowly meandering around the racing line. And Oscar was
having some zingers on the radio this weekend.
Oscar was like, Ferrari will invent mirrors one day, I hope. Which fed very nicely into FP2 because one of the funniest moments, I thought it was quite funny, was Charles coming out of the pits and just totally not seeing Lando and just driving straight into him.
Yeah. I was just like, it's funny now. If it was qualifying, I would be having a conniption.
Yes, valid.
But it wasn't. But I was just like, that's really funny. I know. I'm just, those memes that are like, I turn now. Good luck, everybody else. Like, then it's just like Charles driving into the side of Lando. But it's also like fair enough that Ferrari got the fine. I was like, I hope Charles doesn't get a fine from that because his engineer says, yep, come out. Yeah.
Oh, totally. Team fine for sure. There's a car coming.
Like head check, perhaps.
Yes.
But also, Charles can't see. He's like this. But head check, the mechanic should... Oh.
Totally. Fully on the mechanic. Like Charles, I think it was Martin Brundle was unpacking it. Like you can't see anything as you're coming out.
And he's looking this way. He's like trying not to, because if he looks this way all of a sudden, he might drive into someone else's mechanic.
Exactly.
So he needs to be looking that way.
Like straight in front.
And just trust that. That's why they call them out.
Yeah.
Be like, it's safe, it's clear.
Yes.
There's not a fluor orange car there at all. Definitely not.
No. Missed it.
Absolutely not.
But I did think it was quite funny. Ferrari were obviously like, oh, we fucked up there. Because all the Ferrari mechanics went and helped roll.
Yeah, pushed him back. Yeah.
So
let me just have a look at this arrow while I'm here.
So true.
No, but they were like, oh, fuck, sorry, and then rolled him back to his pit box. And Charles continued on with his life. I was like, okay. In FP1, there was a moment like Carlos and Nico both locked up into a corner and nearly crashed into each other. And I was
yes, that was bad. Yeah, there was a few like things certainly got a little spicy. Drivers
close.
Kind of pushing the limits a little bit more. A few touches on the wall, a few near misses.
Street circuit stuff.
Yes, and then FP2, George just locked up and drove headfirst into the wall.
See you later.
Yes, which caused a red flag. And they didn't have it was quite a long red flag. I think they didn't have a huge amount of time left once it started. So I think a lot of them went to do like quali runs. And then when they were all doing that, Lawson hit the wall.
Yes, and his tyre said goodbye.
His tyre said farewell.
And then he was kind of parked like in the pit lane. I was like, worst place you could be.
Yeah.
But
True.
Then he took away like most of the rest of the time.
Yes.
It was very impressive actually. Like I'm just thinking that Mercedes didn't run a soft in FP1 on either of their cars. And then George put it in the wall before they ran softs in FP2. So he actually didn't have any quali sims.
He didn't,
on Friday at all. So for him to pull out the quali laps that he did in actual qualifying, really impressive. I mean, it's impressive anyway.
Yes.
But he didn't run a soft until Saturday morning, so that's even more impressive. Aston Martin was still looking strong in FP2.
Yes.
Hadjar put in a really good lap.
Yeah, he was like second.
P2.
Yeah, in FP2, which I was like, wow. Yeah, that was great. And Max was just looking quick. I was like, okay. Red Bull have maybe
because they were talking
cured
about
their Singapore curse.
Yeah, like they were talking about it. Like McLaren aren't bringing any more upgrades. They've won the constructors. They don't need to.
Yes.
Like I think Ferrari have basically stopped bringing upgrades.
Yes.
Like a lot of people have stopped. Red Bull have not stopped.
Yeah.
Bringing upgrades. They're like, ooh, Max is in with a shot at the championship. Let's upgrade this car so he doesn't leave.
Yeah, valid.
Yeah. So, yeah, Red Bull seemed to be... And I was kind of thinking this. Like, this is now 3 races in a row that McLaren haven't won. And I'm like, everyone's catching up. Everyone, I mean Red Bull.
Yes.
Well, Red Bull because they have Max, I think if they had it. We know what Max can do. If he's got a car under him, he'll be there. Yes. Mercedes, I'm surprised Mercedes were fast in Singapore.
I think Mercedes were surprised that they were fast in Singapore. Like,
this is the thing.
Like, this
Mercedes
is a hot track.
They're like, this goes against us
rule.
Normally not knowing why we're fast.
Yes. Bizarre.
But they just do that and they just like...
They do.
Will be really fast somewhere and then they'll be like, we don't know why.
Yeah, well, that was like all George said. George was like, we need to figure out how, like, what happened this
why
weekend.
We're fast. Yeah. But that's what they say every time they win a race, and it's really funny.
Yeah.
They're like,
look, it just worked out.
Maybe might be helpful if you figured that out.
Yes. Look, I think with Singapore, like, it's such a hard track to overtake on. So, and it's like always one from pole. So I think George really won it on Saturday. Not to discount, obviously, his great driving during the race, but I think if Max had been on pole, Max would have won the race.
Max would have won.
Like, you know.
If Lando had been on pole, Lando would have won. If Oscar had been on pole, Oscar would have won. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, agreed.
Anyways, that's all I really had to say about FP2.
Yeah.
FP3, Lawson was back in the wall. Those poor V-carb mechanics. He went over a pretty nasty curb, and just kind of lost control of the car. Swung left, swung right, hit the wall.
Smack. Yeah, it was not good, but they did a good job getting it back together for qualifying.
They did.
And he did a good job.
He did.
To not put it in the wall again in qualifying. Like, because your confidence would be down. And I don't know where he qualified, but he wasn't at the back.
No, he got through to Q2. He was knocked out in Q2.
Yeah, so I feel like when you've crashed twice and you've lost most of your practice sessions due to that,
100%.
To not get knocked out in Q1 is a pretty good effort.
Completely agree. Max went fastest, and I was like, All right.
You're like, here he is.
Yes. Oscar was looking good. Lando not so much. Ferrari also not so much. They were down in like P8 and P10. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. You're like, I see where we're going here.
Yeah.
I see what's happening.
For real. At one point, Colapinto nearly put Max in the wall, trying to move out of the way.
Yeah, because he was like, oh, my teammate's coming past on a flying lap. Let me move over and run a 4-time world champion into the wall.
Yeah, it was a real, like, Lance Stroll move, almost. Like, Lance Stroll's definitely
just
done that a couple times.
Yeah, but Colapinto can get away with it because he's a rookie.
Correct.
And he didn't actually hit him.
Yes, importantly.
But it was close.
I was like, God. Like, yeah, thankfully, even if he had hit him, not Collie, not race, but thankfully he didn't, so it was fine.
Everything was all good.
Everything was fine. That was all I had to say about practice. Did you have any other things to talk about? Let's move on to quali. So in Q1, we had Gasly, Ocon, Colapinto, Stroll, and Bortoletto eliminated. A little bit feels like the usual suspects. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. Max was looking rapid on his first flying laps. He put like a quarter of a second on Lando. I was like, okay.
Yeah. And yeah, like the incident that happened with Oscar's first flying lap is so silly.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I
ridiculous.
get it, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Because basically, there was a brief yellow and we were like, what's that? Because we weren't looking at it. Well, I was like, I saw it pop up like yellow flag and I was like, and then it went away. So I was like, someone's clearly just like gone into the runoff, turned around and come back onto the track.
Yes.
No. Oscar Piastri is on his first flying lap, trying to set his banker lap. You know, important time for all drivers.
Yes.
Going around the track, I don't even know who it was. Someone had gone and he met him in a bad place on track. So the car in front had taken to the runoff to get out of the way, which happens all the time around Singapore and a few other tracks as well. But it's a very common thing to do to get out of the way when you're in a tricky part of the track where you can't stay on the track. So it's gone off and the marshals have, you know, to one point it's like kind of fair enough. There's a car off the track, yellow flag.
Yeah.
But it's and
it's so hard when you're like making a split-second decision because you may or may not have the context of like, oh, they're just moving out of the way. Like you said, if you see a car off the track,
yellow flag.
Wave a yellow. It's just, it sucks that for Oscar, that yellow meant he had to back off and he then kind of like lost that set of tyres.
Yeah. It was okay in the end. It all worked out. It was fine. But it could have been bad.
Yes.
Like, just in the context of when in quali it happened, it was fine.
Yes.
But
because it was like right at the start. But if it was his second lap or like third flight, like if it was his final flying lap before the end of the session, like that would have been bad.
Exactly. And there was also a situation later in quali where someone else took to the runoff to let someone pass and that wasn't a yellow flag. So it's like, okay, there's some inconsistency here. And obviously that's just due to the different track marshals, the different parts of the track and like blah, blah, blah. But it was a bit like, and he was like, that's crazy on the radio. Yeah. He was like, that's insane. Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah. But it's okay. It all worked out in the end.
It was all fine at the end, exactly.
No harm, no foul. Yes. Hadjar was flying once again.
Like so quick. He went like a 10th faster than Max and like fastest on their sort of second flying laps. He was quick.
He was flying. And then Ollie Behrman at one point put in a really, really quick lap. Yeah. And we were like, okay,
I know. I think the track was like slowly ramping up too. Like the more just, rubber being put down and all that. But
100%.
Yeah, it was. They were looking real good. And then Gasly pulled over at the end with, I think it was like a hydraulics issue.
But
not
good.
Yeah, which I think caused another yellow flag. And then that meant that a few drivers made it through by kind of just carrying on through the yellow flag.
Yeah, because
they were under investigation for that.
They were all under investigation, but the reason that they kind of got away with it and still had good lap times was because it's coming into a braking zone.
Yes.
So you can say, I slowed down under the yellow flag, because they did, but you slowed down because there's a corner there, and then you continued on your lap. Because Gasly was just conveniently placed somewhere where they had to brake and slow down anyway.
Yes.
So they all kind of
did that.
Because
there was like 5 or 6, there was like, I think like 5 drivers.
Yeah, including George Russell.
Yes. Who were under investigation.
Yeah.
And I think even Sauber kept Bortoletto in the car just in case, like, Yuki, you know...
Or there's a few of them. Yuki, I think, was the main one. Like,
yeah, because I think
he'd gone from 20th to... No, he was going to be eliminated. So, like, he was the one that I think was in the drop zone. I don't think any of the others were. Yeah. I mean, who knows? But, who knows? Yeah, he was the one that was like, ooh.
Yes.
If he's like not lifted under yellows like that.
Yeah, if he gets his lap time deleted, then we're good. We're through. But unfortunately for Bortoletto, that did not happen.
Did not happen.
So then Q2, then we had Yuki eliminated, Liam Lawson, Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon, and Nico Hülkenberg.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, Sainz and Albon, like, unfortunate for them to get knocked out in Q2, but then more unfortunate about them getting disqualified from qualifying, which I think is such a funny little sentence.
Disqualified from qualifying.
For a like wing that was too big or too small or against the rules.
Their rear wing was not correct. And it was actually, I saw a really funny meme because they had this special rear wing that they were running and it had like cute cartoon pictures in the back of it. And I saw a thing from the back of it, and it was like the rear wing that got both Williams disqualified. And it's like this cutesy little thing. And I'm like, that's hilarious.
I was kind of looking at that like, oh, okay, I haven't seen that before.
No. But I'm like, and it's got you disqualified. Well done.
Yes.
Again, like, McLaren were just missing 2/10 the whole way through qualifying on everyone else. And I was like, cool.
Because Max was looking quick. Both Mercedes were looking quick. They were at P1 and P3 at the end of Q2. Like, where were the McLarens? Nowhere to be seen.
And, like, Lewis at one point was looking fast. Charles was in the pits of hell in Q2. I was like, oh no.
I know. He was like looking real slow in his initial runs and like was looking in the drop zone, I think, until
he was P13.
Yeah.
He was in P13 and then I think he smacked the wall a little bit. I think that's why he was down there on his first run. But when he went over the line on his first run and he literally went to P13, I was like,
I was like, oh god. I was like, what has happened? Because historically, Ferrari have been okay at Singapore. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's like one of their good tracks. So I was like, Yeah, that was not the vibe. But glad he made it through. To Q3.
We got there in the end. It was not pretty, but it worked. But as you said, Mercedes P1 and P3, like cracking laps from both of them.
Rapid, yeah.
Because Kimi as well, in one of the, I think it was Q1 or Q2, one of them, he had the same thing happen as last week, where he like had his time deleted and couldn't get his time on the board until like the last lap. Yeah. And then just put in an absolute flyer. And I was like, well done.
Like, good job. Cool. Yeah. And so obviously then we made it through to Q3 and George on his first flying lap very nearly put it in the wall.
But, that was a big hit.
But somehow set the pole lap.
Because he just kept his foot down. He was like, I've touched the wall, whatever, off we go.
Yep.
Like,
we carry on.
And that's what they were kind of saying in the commentary. It's like, that's very impressive. Like, he's clearly pushing the limits, found the limits, but didn't go over them. Like, any harder into the wall, he's done for. Like,
absolutely.
But then it was still provisional pole and would have been good enough for pole anyway. Like, he ended up improving on it, but Horrible lap from Lando.
way off the pace from that first lap. And, like, just could not find the pace anywhere. Max was looking good, but again, no one came close to George on those first laps, and then no one really improved on the second laps.
Yeah, and then obviously there was that incident right at the end where Max was like pissy at Lando.
Yes.
And I'm like, where did you want him to be?
I know.
Like,
so silly.
Like, I understand that there's dirty air, and yes, it probably impacted your lap, but he wasn't in your way. Like, where did you want him to be?
Yes. It was a little strange. Yeah, I know.
And he was like threatening him.
I
was
know.
like, oh.
So the interviews afterwards were so fun. They did a group interview every time.
Yeah, and after the race.
Why? Because you're just making them stand there on camera. You're not really speeding up the process. Like, you're still one by one individually asking them questions. But you're making them stand there on camera rather than, like, be able to just, like, chill out, like, have some water.
Yeah,
talk.
I think it was probably, like, so it did go faster. But you're right, they still did all ask them separately. But I think it was still quicker.
Yeah,
than
maybe slightly.
doing them all separately. But it was weird. Then they were all just like, and especially because it was, like, Max and George, they're, like...
I know.
Like, not looking at each other. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, I was like, oh, Max and George front row. What's going to happen here? Turns out nothing. Yeah. But yeah, that was bizarre. It was quite funny trying to get Max and Oscar to stop yapping while George was talking. They eventually just moved the camera over and like zoomed in on George, which I thought was quite funny.
Because they were like, guys, we're all here together this time, and Max and Oscar were like, I don't care.
Yes.
Like, you're clearly going to ask George a question because he's got pole. Like, I don't care.
I know. But so when they did really ask funny. Max about his comments about Lando, they were like, so who were you referring to? And he was like, Oscar. I was like, yes, T. Yes.
But also, I'm just like, and they were like, he's driving unnecessarily slowly. He's trying to get his way. I'm like, that would just be stupid. Yeah. Like, A, I don't think he was. B, no. You wouldn't do that. Like, you wouldn't risk getting a grid drop yourself when you've already qualified P5.
No.
You wouldn't risk a grid drop and get in the way of Max Verstappen, who will murder you.
Yeah,
if he doesn't want you there.
Absolutely. The last thing Lando wants to do right now, especially Lando, because he's so much closer to Max in the championship, is piss Max off.
Exactly.
Because it will go like it did last year.
Which was not good for anyone that's forgotten.
Correct.
But yeah, I was like, he's not going to do that. That's not a good idea for him at this point in time. And he wasn't trying to do that. Everyone needs to chill out and calm down.
Especially because we're coming up to Coda, and that was wild last year between Max and
That was the scene of that crime.
Yeah.
That was literally the scene. I love
Max
Coda.
is going to be like, run it back.
Literally. He'd be like, I will shove you off again.
Yeah. Don't test me.
And again, and again, and again.
Fuck around and find out.
Literally. Anyways. I think that's kind of quali. Obviously, I was surprised that both Mercedes were working in the heat, but we already kind of touched on that.
Yes.
But also, it was so funny that Kimi was starting in between the McLarens. And I kept seeing that clip from, I'm not sure which year it was, but it was when Kimi Räikkönen and Sebastian Vettel were in the Ferraris and Max Verstappen in his Red Bull was starting second, and Kimi and Seb were 1 and 3, and Max somehow hits both of them.
Yes.
And everyone was like, the performance we need from Kimi this weekend to take out both McLaren so Max can catch up in the championship. And I was like, no. Yes. It was a bit scary though. I was like, he's a bit of a wild card going into turn 1. So
Yes. I know. I was, after quali, I was like, all right, I'm looking forward to this race start. And it was not the race start that I thought it was going to be, but I was looking forward to it nonetheless.
It was still a fun race start, but then nothing else happened.
Correct. So let's get into the race.
Speaking of.
So, before we got started, Gasly and Albon were starting in the pit lane for various reasons. Obviously, neither of them qualified well, so it makes sense. And yes, the race start. So
there was a few people starting on softs, which was like... Ooh.
Max, obviously the notable one.
Yeah. I was like, oh no. I was like, George, watch yourself.
Totally. But
watch yourself.
George got a great start, phenomenal start, and so did Lando, making up 2 places. Charles also made up 2 places. And I think for Lando, he knew that it was like turn 1 or never with Singapore. Yeah. Really. Mm-hmm. So yes, he was aggressive. And yes, we've obviously already unpacked all the
But that's what we wanted. This is what we've been wanting from these championship rivals this whole year.
Yes.
Is just for someone to be like, no, I don't care that you're my teammate.
Yes. Agree.
Actually,
you're in a championship
I'm going
fight.
Past.
Yeah. You're at the point now where you're no longer teammates, you're championship contenders. And if that was anyone else in any other team, as we said, wouldn't even be
because it's been like it's been like, who is going to risk losing the respect of the team? I remember we had a big conversation about it after Monza. It's like, who's going to be the one to be like, I will risk losing the team?
Yeah. And
I think obviously Lando has probably got the team.
Yes.
But
he's got the team, he's got the commentators.
Yeah. So British bias.
We love a bit of British bias.
Yeah. Oh dear. Anyways, so I feel like it's kind of more valid that he's the one to do it. But he's also the one that has always said, like, you can win a championship without being horrible and ruthless and, like, screwing people over.
For sure.
And he doesn't want to do that to win a championship, but... And I don't really think he did, like, as we've already unpacked. Like, it wasn't on purpose.
It is a racing incident. These things happen, and it just so happened that it was Oscar that was the car that was there. So,
yeah, but anyways, we've already unpacked it. Yes. He had a great start, got past Kimi, then that happened.
Correct.
And he was in third. And I was like, great. He also had, his front wing was like... Yes. And I was like...
Which, I was like, is he going to get, like, black and white flagged? Like, what?
Yeah.
Is it black and white?
I think it was... Yeah. It's that weird flag that Kevin Magnussen got that one time. A few years ago.
And it was literally the same thing.
Yeah.
They were like, no, you're fine, Lando, don't worry about it. I also feel like the FIA just want nothing to do.
Nothing.
With anything related to the championship contenders. They're like, nope, didn't see it.
No, that's gone poorly in the past.
Yeah.
So let's not.
Yeah.
But also I think because it was just kind of there at an angle, it wasn't like flapping around. It didn't look like it was going to fall off. It's kind of like what Charles had in China.
Yeah, if anything, it was probably giving him speed, like for Charles in China.
With Charles in China, yeah. So, but I was like, ooh, let's hope you don't have to change that front wing because we're going to end up back there, and then this whole incident was literally for nothing.
Yes, correct.
And then we'd have to have this conversation for no reason.
Yes.
Then Oscar went into the runoff as well, and I was like, please don't tell me he's got damage.
Yes,
but he was fine.
Bortoletto and Yuki came into the pits quite early, and Bortoletto's pit crew let go of a wheel and it started rolling into... Did you see this? Rolling into the road.
This. And I was watching in a restaurant on my computer, to the side, so I did miss a few things.
Fair. Well, one of the sour pit crew had to sprint for his life to chase this wheel that was rolling onto the road and so nearly hit Yuki's car. He had to dive to grab it and make sure it didn't hit his car.
Was it one that they'd taken off?
Yeah, one that had taken off and just it had been let go and was just rolling.
And it just was like...
And I was like, oh my god, if that had hit Yuki's car,
yeah,
been hell to pay from Red Bull.
Literally, oh my god, that's funny. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Then it was Ocon was having brake issues.
Yeah,
Kimi was having steering issues.
Yes, there was a lot of issues going around during the race. Come the end, Max was I think screaming at his car. Lewis obviously lost his brakes at the end. There were plenty of little
George was also having some sort of problem out front, and he was I don't know if I can stay ahead. I don't know if I can do this, but luckily Max was also having worse problems, so Max was kind of fine.
Not driving. Correct.
And even was something happening to Charles at the end too? He lost a stack of time at the end.
He did.
Luckily Lewis was doing even worse behind him.
Correct.
So
yeah. But then outside of
as you said,
yes, they came
front
in.
wing had to be changed.
Yes, but outside of the little like drivers issues like with battling just their cars, there was not a lot that proceeded to happen after that. There was Max came in after 20 laps to take off his softs and put on hards, hoping that, you know, there'd be that hope of a early safety car clearly did not come to fruition.
No. There was like McLaren tried to fake out Max with trying to bring Lando in, and it was like, no, even the commentators were like, they know that would put him back out into heaps of traffic, so they wouldn't do that.
Yes. Their radio message was also so on the nose. It was like, box to overtake Verstappen. Like, you wouldn't say that. You would just say box. Like, yeah, you wouldn't be like, we're trying to overtake you. Trust me, we're trying. Hello.
You would just do it and like hope they didn't clock it.
Yes.
Like, you wouldn't
make a big deal about it. The only people that fall for that trick is Ferrari, as we saw.
I wasn't gonna say. That was really funny, and Ferrari fell for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you dumb?
Yes.
But Charles also was trying to undercut Oscar.
He was, yeah.
Which was when fucking McLaren were like, Lando, are you okay if we give Oscar first service? Mm-hmm. And Lando was like, no. No.
No, I'm
not.
Which,
correct answer.
Enough. That's the correct answer.
And it's what you should have said in Monza too.
Yes. What I didn't like then was that McLaren just immediately, after they brought Lando in, they then immediately brought Oscar in. Because what you're doing by doing that is you're saying, okay, well, you're just going to trundle around behind Lando now. Rather than saying,
trying
to
get his strategy different
and offset the strategy, see if there's a safety car, blah 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 blah. You're committing him to just being stuck behind Lando. Like, I don't know what sort of strategy call that was, but I was like yelling at my TV. I was like, why?
Yeah, because they were worried about undercut from Charles, but they had a 5-second pit stop and Charles still didn't go past. So like, you're clearly fine from Charles.
Also, you're not fighting Charles for the championship. If Charles gets past you, okay, cool. But you're trying to be ahead of Lando.
I think that's again the team just being like, ooh, like we don't want to upset Lando by like pulling a trick with Oscar, because it's what Oscar was mad about. Where was it? Where did Lando win the race after he had a completely different strategy? Hungary? No, Oscar won. Was it Hungary?
Yeah, I think it might have been.
It was Hungary. Yeah. It was Hungary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Hungary.
Yeah.
Yes. And they like pulled some crazy strategy because he was like in the pits of hell and it worked and he won the race.
Yes.
Like that. Then Oscar was pissed and being like, well, why wasn't I on that? That was clearly the best strategy. And it's like, well, they didn't think they were going to win the race. They were just trying something different and it happened to win them the race.
Which is what you have to do. Like, why didn't they think of that with Oscar? Pissed me off. More than the Lando thing. I was like, okay, that was an accident and you've put your hands clear of that.
And it's also Lando being like, I'm winning the championship, whereas this is the team being like, meow.
Yeah, oh, well, we'll just, I guess, pit you now because we pit Lando. Like, no. What? You
try something fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that pissed me off.
Yeah, because I was originally like, fair enough, you're covering off Charles. Then when it was first of all, another 5-second pit stop.
Dude, tell me about it. McLaren and having good pit stops for both their drivers in one race.
No,
could never.
Not a thing. Apart from that one time they did 1.9 on both of them.
Yeah.
But everything's gone to hell since then.
Correct.
But yeah,
anyway.
5.2, and he still came out ahead of Charles. I was like, okay, so he was never at risk of an undercut from Charles. Yeah. And as you said, he's not fighting. Do something different.
Yeah, I thought that was so stupid. Anyways.
And it was left rear, I think, this time, and I was like,
I know.
He's been left front for ages. Last week it was right front. Now it's left rear. I'm like,
It was quite funny watching it because there was like a lag. There's obviously a lag between the visual and the commentary because like Ted, like Oscar was still driving into the pits as Ted was like, it's slow, it's with the
yeah.
And I was like,
because he's obviously live in the pit stop, in the pit lane.
And I was like, he's not even in there yet. What do you mean?
Oh, that's so funny. But yeah.
Anyway, so that was very unfortunate
guys.
and very, I think, silly on McLaren's behalf. But anyways.
I agree. And it also meant that Oscar was then far behind Lando and nothing
So far
could happen
behind. Like 9
with
seconds.
them. Yeah, and I was like, okay. He was already like 4 seconds behind.
Yeah.
And now you've just added like another like the gap in Lando's pit stop. Because Lando had like a normal, like, it was like a 2.6 or something, like a standard pit stop.
Yeah.
And Oscar's was like 5.2. Like the gap that you've put between them is another 4 seconds. And I was like, oh,
criminal.
guys.
I know. So, anyways, mad at McLaren about their poor choice of strategy for Oscar.
Everything.
But it is what it is. Yes. After that happened, Ollie Behrman had a really good overtake on Albon around like lap 29. He just slingshot past him through one of the chicanes. I was like, slay, very good.
Good
very
stuff.
Good driving.
We like to see it.
SD Best, and so this was like a stream of actually some good racing that was going on.
Yeah.
Because SD Bestie had a moment where he was trying to get past Gasly, and I was like,
Ooh.
lol.
Yeah,
There's some
French
more
Civil
there.
War is back.
Yes. And then Hadjar and Alonso had a bit of back and forth.
That was fun.
That was very fun to watch. Alonso's radios during the race was so funny.
He was on one.
Yeah. When they were like, okay, like 30 laps to go or whatever. And he was like, if you talk to me every lap, I will disconnect the radio. It's like valid.
Yeah, and then he was also like, what was he said? He was like, give me a trophy for the hero of the race. I've seen a few memes about that, like him crowning himself hero of the race. Well, okay.
Oh, so funny.
I love when he gets spicy. I'm like, go on, Grandpa. Like,
I know. Especially battling a rookie.
I know, you're battling someone you could be his father.
Yeah,
but
quite
like,
easily.
Go on.
But anyway.
He's still like so excited about succeeding. It's really funny.
Yeah, bless.
Then there was like gaps started to close at the front. Like Lando was catching Max. There was a point in time where Max was catching George.
Yes.
But then once again, Lando was this close to Max for the last 20 laps of the race.
Nothing
And just
happened.
with dirty air.
Yeah.
You just cannot
Get past.
do anything.
Yeah.
And
it was shit.
at that point in time, it's like, it was similar to Baku where it's like, should he have gone for something a bit more aggressive? But it's like, no. Like you're different to Baku, you're not in P7, you're in P3.
Correct.
Oscar is in P4, he's not out of the race.
Correct.
And it's Max Verstappen, not
Correct.
Yuki Tsunoda.
Yes.
And he has threatened you the day before. So I was like,
try and not.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, we can't afford to trip over.
We play that one safe.
Here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Especially because...
But it was so annoying.
Yeah. Especially not even just with Oscar but behind you, but with Max catching you too. Like in the championship. Like, you can't be losing
we
points
just have to
Max
stay here.
either. Yeah. It's like,
exactly.
it is
Like,
it
he
is.
can't afford to.
Yes.
But it was so frustrating just watching him, following him around with DRS for like 15 laps. And I was like,
know. Further down the field, there was a little bit of interest between the two Saubers, Gasly and Colapinto. There was a bit of like a few spicy moments there with the four of them, but nothing too serious. Hulkenberg had a bit of like a big lockup towards the end of the race, but kind of managed to get going again, so he was fine. What I thought was
one thing where it's like, is something gonna happen? No.
Yeah, no, and I was like, safety car, no.
Yeah, no.
One thing that I thought was quite funny was obviously in the last like 10 laps or so, all of the front runners were having to overtake all the back markers. And I think it was like around lap 56, Hadjar was told, he was just told like on his radio to just, he was just asked if he was clear on the Max and Lando situation behind him. Which obviously just meant like, make sure to let them both through. They're both coming up, just make sure to let them both through. The really funny part is obviously Hajar is very likely to be Max's future teammate. And the immediate thought that went through my brain when I heard that radio message was like, the Max and Lando situation behind you, are we clear on it? Okay, so are you going to like take Lando out for your future teammate?
Yeah, literally. If that had happened, I would have been like, this fucking stupid Red Bull with their 4 cars again. Oh my God.
I was just like, there was obviously it wasn't that, but that was the first thought that went through my brain. It's like,
yeah,
because it's like could really just make best friends with Max right now.
Yeah, it's like kind of what was happening last year. I think it was in Brazil, or in Mexico, when Liam Lawson was like attacking Perez. Yeah. He was like fighting him like scrappy, and then Max came up and he was like basically pulled over to let him pass.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh. But then with Perez, he's like, no, die.
Yeah. But I was like, you would have taken out, if you'd taken out Lando, then like Max would have gained almost like so much.
Half the amount he needed, basically.
Yeah. Like so funny. Anyways.
But no.
No, that was not what he did. He just simply moved out of the way and let them both through as what was meant by the message. The thing that annoyed me right at the end as well was like, Oscar ended up, because Oscar was really catching like right at the end, and he finished like 2 or 3 seconds behind, which was the amount of time that he'd lost in his pit stop.
I mean, I think he still would have just joined the DRS train. I don't think anything really would have happened, because that's how he caught, because Max was struggling so much with everything, seemingly. Yes. And Lando still just could not get past. And I think Lando was stuck behind Max. I think Oscar just would have got stuck behind them as well. But we might have got to see something a bit fun, because after what happened at the start, Oscar might have just been like...
Totally. Like... Oscar might have just been seeing red and just like gone for a dive bomb. Like you just never know, right?
Yeah. So it could have gotten more fun. I like to think probably nothing would have happened. Yeah. But
none of them would have wanted to risk anything, but yeah, you never know. But then George crossed the finish line. He did not bid it on the last lap. And he won.
Well done. He's learned his lesson.
Correct. And obviously the race was still going on after George crossed the line, which we obviously previously spoke about, but Lewis had been hella struggling with his brakes. Yeah. And you just watch the timing tower, and the gap between him and Charles was just growing and growing and growing. I was like, what is happening? And then you look at, I saw Lewis's onboard, and that man he was all over the shop. Somehow he just, track limits were not a thing.
No, he couldn't stay on the track because he had no brakes. Yes. So he was just like sliding off here and there, and that's when at the end they were like, oh, he had a black and white flag for track limits. I was like, oh, he's fucked. Like he's getting a penalty, like, because he definitely went off again after that. Like, yes, I mean, correct. He has won a race with 3 wheels before, so he's obviously not just gonna pull over and DNF. But
no, so he's still got
if it had happened earlier in the race, for sure, I think he would have just been like, because he would have ended up at the back, but he got, he was able to keep it in the points, and
he got it across the line, and got a 5-second penalty, but it was fine.
So he lost the place to Alonso, but it happens, it's fine. I'm sure he's not too worried about P8 or P9, or P7 or P8, or whatever it was. P7 or P8,
exactly. And then, obviously, McLaren securing the constructors. They interviewed Zach Brown and Andrea Stella afterwards.
I was like, this is so on the nose.
I thought that some of Zach Brown's comments were very interesting. Saying, I've got an incredible team here. They race clean. They race fair. Your drivers just hit into each other. It was the most controversial point of the whole weekend. But yeah, no, you make that statement. That's...
Yeah. And I'm like... They do, but you are annoying and you've ruined this whole thing for everyone.
Yeah.
So you can't just be like, it's annoying that they always claim, like, oh, our drivers are so good, our drivers are so good. Yeah, they are. Let them just have at it. Let them be good.
Yeah.
You're ruining it.
I know.
You're literally ruining it for everyone.
I know.
This whole thing is your fault.
Correct. And I hope that now that the precedent has shifted, they do. Mm-hmm. I hope that now that they've backed off, they stay backed off and just let them do their thing. Mm-hmm. And I hope Oscar comes in to Coda ready
swinging.
To rumble.
I hope so too, because what I don't want is this to continue, and then, you know, obviously all of the fan bases are like at each other, and I'm like, well, if it's gloves off on both sides and McLaren can just stay out, it means that there can't be any favoritism, and the favoritism discussion dies because they can both do it. And I hope that they do both do it.
Yes, agreed.
And that McLaren just
pit off.
Whoever is running ahead first. Don't offer to swap.
No.
Don't offer the priority up.
Correct.
Don't let them choose.
Correct.
Pit them in the correct order. Try and win against each other.
Yes.
And just
try and win against each other.
Yeah. In all forms.
Correct. Exactly. Anyway, so I guess we'll see.
Congratulations to McLaren.
Yes,
but
we saw it coming back in Melbourne.
Yeah, literally. Like at Abu Dhabi last year. We knew this was going to happen.
Correct.
But yeah, I mean, as I said, like, they are not the fastest everywhere anymore.
No.
They're still the fastest car in general, 100%. But they're not the fastest everywhere.
No, exactly. Like you said, it's been a few now in a row that they haven't won. So I guess we'll see. But that was all I really had to say about the race. Did you have anything else to say? No?
No.
I guess let's do our awards. All right. So, biggest winner. Who did you have?
Well, McLaren for winning the Constructors' Championship, but that only. Yes. Like, you just have to mention them. They did win back-to-back Constructors' Championships for the first time since Prost and Senna. So that's a big win, but everything else that they did was an L. So, and I just had George and Mercedes because, like, again, why are you fast in Singapore? Who knows? And also Carlos Sainz recovering to P10 from the back of the grid, which we didn't mention.
Agree. Yes, that was very good. Very good driving. And, like, we know Carlos is good in Singapore. Yeah. He was only non-Red Bull to win in 2023 there, so very good. I also had George, and I had, like, Max and Red Bull as well, given that clearly that car is kind of ready to go. I would not be surprised, like I said, if he causes some upsets now with some of the tracks coming up. So I think he's got the car underneath him now, so we'll see if he can actually just
terrifying
make a big enough dent. Will be the thing in the limited time he does. Biggest losers, who did you have?
Oscar, because of what happened in the first corner, and just the fact that it was always going to be one of them that was, like, copped the L on the side of McLaren deciding to butt out. Yeah. And it was probably always going to be Oscar, realistically. But, like, it was him, and that sucks. That he's been on the side. He's copped McLaren finally deciding to do what they should have done ages ago.
Yes, for sure.
So he's been on the losing side of that, unfortunately. But I also had Williams in qualifying, the double disqualification, because...
Yes, I agree with that too. The only other one I had is Ferrari, and especially Lewis. Like, that car was just falling apart. Like, it's just a little just embarrassing at this point. Like, your car sucks. Yeah, the only way you can seem to get your car to work is when you then grind your plank down until it's no longer, like, within the rules.
Existent.
So, like, what are you doing, essentially?
Literally.
But next year is our year, guys. It's fine.
We're so back.
We're so back.
Well, you might be so back in Coda. Charles won there last year.
This is very true. It was a Ferrari one too there last year. So, will it be that this year? Absolutely not. But we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Silliest surprise? Did you have one?
Mercedes being fast.
Yes. Agree.
Yeah, and Carlos recovering to points at a track where you can't fucking overtake.
Totally. Mine was also Mercedes related, which was actually just from Collie, which was George nearly putting it in the wall in his pole lap and still getting pole. What?
Yeah. Yeah, literally. Shout out to George though, because that pole lap where he nearly binned it was the new lap record at Singapore, and then he beat it again by going even faster the next lap. So
yeah, phenomenal. Did the race lap record get beat?
I don't know. I hope not, because Daniel Ricciardo has it.
Yeah.
I know that Lewis had the fastest lap.
Yes, but I don't think it was faster than...
I haven't seen that it was...
faster than Daniel's.
Should we Google it?
Yes. I feel like I need this piece of information.
Yeah, 1:33.8 Lewis. So it's faster.
That's sad.
It's really sad. Our last piece of Daniel Ricciardo is gone.
No.
That's actually so really, really upsetting.
Yeah. Oh. Sad.
Oh well. Yeah, I mean, that's not fun.
No.
Yeah.
That is sad.
That just this whole weekend, everyone being like, last year was... I know. I know. You don't need to remind me.
For real.
We were on the train on the way back from the race, and it was like all of these headlines were coming out in the media, and we were like...
I know. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. We were like, why?
Yeah, literally.
Anyway, speaking of stats, I guess, did you have a more fun, useless stat for this week?
I actually don't.
That's fair.
Which is terrible.
Well, I have 2, so one for each of us. Oh, perfect. So my first one is obviously Mercedes are currently second now in the teams, like in the constructors, behind McLaren, who also use Mercedes engines. And this is, if it stays the way it currently stands, this will be the first time that a Mercedes-powered team have finished 1-2 in the constructors.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy? It's been like 30-something years since like Mercedes have been an engine supplier in Formula One. And this is the first time that they might be 1-2, which I thought was kind of interesting.
I mean, I'm sure you're hoping that they don't finish 1-2. Or would you prefer the wind tunnel time?
I would prefer the wind tunnel time. I'm more than happy to take P3. Ferrari.
So you're going for this stat to be correct.
To be accurate, correct. Exactly. I do not care about the constructors in the slightest. Give them the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do care about the constructors. I'm a Ferrari fan. I'm a team fan.
Yes.
Unlike what you said about McLaren at the start.
Yeah, I don't like you at all.
Yes. Valid.
Redeemable.
Yes.
Depending on how you act for the rest of the year. But I'm a fan of the drivers.
On probation.
Yeah, literally. It's like I'm not a McLaren fan. I'm a fan of the McLaren drivers.
Yes. My other stat is about my team and my drivers.
Yes.
Lewis has not finished on the podium. It's not a fun stat, by the way.
Oh.
Lewis has not finished on the podium in 18 Grand Prix starts, which is a Ferrari team record.
Oh.
No other Ferrari driver has gone this long without getting a podium. Since
no.
Career at Ferrari.
That's really bad.
Yeah, it's not a good stat.
And it's Lewis Hamilton.
And it's Lewis Hamilton.
Like the greatest of all time.
Yeah. And do I think it's the driver? No. Do I think it's the car? No. Absolutely. But
and the team.
Yeah. And look, I mean, he obviously got that win in the sprint, but like we're not counting that.
It's a sprint,
yeah.
Is there a sprint in Coda?
There is. Coda is a sprint weekend. So Ferrari generally do good in a sprint weekend. They have less time to fuck things up. So
that's true.
We'll see how we go. Biggest meme.
There were so many about like the McLaren situation, but I just have this one which I'll send to you because it's kind of hard to explain because it's not like one of the ones you see all the time. It's like the Tom and Jerry meme where Tom is like fighting the dog with swords, and then the mouse is just stood there like And it's like Piastri and Norris and McLaren. Just being like,
True.
like, well, true. But there were so many funny ones about that whole like situation.
Yes. My one is also about that. It's like two people talking, but it's like one of them being like, I want Lando and Oscar to actually fight each other for the world championship. And then like someone being like, Lando touched Oscar slightly, but no one crashed and Oscar was undamaged. And then the other person just gets like angry. He's like, not like that.
Like what then? Like, like,
like you said you wanted this, it happened, and now you're like,
I know. And even I'm happy that they're like finally like fighting each other. I'm just mad
absolutely.
that McLaren is being inconsistent. That's my problem with it.
Exactly. Agree.
Yeah.
Driver of the day, obviously the people went for Fernando Alonso. I do agree with the people. I thought he drove very well. Obviously George.
Yes.
Just drove very smooth start to finish. And Carlos Sainz, P18 to points. Very nice.
Agree.
Did you have anyone else?
Agree. No, agree with all of that.
Nice. What was your favourite moment from the weekend?
Like,
yeah, there's not a lot. I really had to kind of think about it. I was like,
yeah, I think George's pole lap was incredible.
yes.
Like, that's definitely one of my favourite moments because I was just like,
yes.
That's crazy. And just as well, like, the race start with like all of that going on was very exciting.
Yes.
Obviously, the fallout was not worth the level of excitement, but I was like, oh fuck, and then like when Lando went around Oscar, I was like, oh fuck, like go on, like get aggressive, let's go, and then it just all went to shit. But that probably George's pole lap and the first few corners, I would have to say.
Very fair. I had Fernando's team radios and his battle with Hajar because that was just good, fun racing to watch. And like a few other good overtakes with, like I said, Behrman and Albon and those little like racing moments.
Kimmy had one as well.
Yep, Kimmy
that
had
they didn't replay until like the end.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was bizarre. But yeah, there were some good racing moments. I just felt like we never really got to see a lot of them. So it just felt like a bit of a snooze fest. But anyway.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of wraps it up. So we've got a week off and then we are in Texas. As we said, it was a Ferrari 1-2 there last year. Very much doubt it will be that again this year.
No, and it also, Max and Lando had a turn 1, lap 1 incident and both Ferraris just went past.
Went through. It was
so
brilliant. Feel free to do it again.
Yeah, it was
knowing
not
the Ferraris,
cute,
they won't even be like that far up.
Yeah,
starting
they won't be
so.
in 3 and 4 ready to go.
Yeah.
But
Charles might be.
Yeah,
Charles is very good at Coda.
He is.
Yes.
Obviously, he led the Ferrari 1-2 home last year.
Yes.
It is my favourite US Grand Prix.
Fair.
I think it's like the perfect level of like American vibes. Like, yeah, it's sometimes a bit cringe. Mm-hmm. They're like, Texas! But
yeah. They bring the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders out. I'm here for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, it's a good track.
Yeah.
It's not like some cringy little influencer street circuit that they've whacked on for fun. It's like a good...
I know you hate Vegas, but God, I really like Vegas.
I fucking hate Vegas so much. And
the races have been
Miami,
good.
I didn't think last year was good. That's my opinion, but...
Fair enough.
And like, Miami, on the other hand, has kind of produced some fun.
Yes.
Even though it is, everything around it is cringe as fuck. It has actually produced, good like races. I will give it to Miami track. It has kind of pulled through. But Coda is my favourite American track.
Fair enough.
So I'm excited.
Yes.
And
we will see
as
how
you
we
said,
go.
Max will probably be good there. And there's a scene of him pushing Lando around last year.
Yes. And he seemed to have Lando's number this weekend. So we'll see if that carries through in 2 weeks' time.
I also feel like McLaren might be better here than they were in some of the more recent tracks.
Yeah.
But I do just think that Max and Red Bull are going to be very, very good there.
Yes, agree. Obviously, as we said, it's a sprint weekend, so that'll be interesting. I think it will be a good sprint track. Singapore next year is a sprint race.
Oh.
Isn't that the worst decision? Why?
So, like, come on. Terrible track for a sprint.
Like, the full race was boring this year. It was boring last year.
Like, no one's going to want to crash. No one's going to want to do anything. I mean, no one ever wants to crash, but, like...
It's going to be disgustingly hot. It's going to be in the middle of the day in Singapore.
Oh.
Like, why? Why?
It's the worst decision ever.
The whole point of Singapore being a night race is that it is slightly cooler then.
Yeah.
So and it's like more manageable.
Yeah.
Like, so
they're
ridiculous.
all just going to be driving around there so slowly, like hating life. Like, it's not going to be good.
I know. Make it make sense. So, anyways.
Yeah. I think Coda is good for a sprint.
Yes.
Was there one there? I think there was one there last year. There was a sprint.
Yeah.
There was. Yeah. And, Lando nearly crashed into Charles. I remember that.
Yes.
Anyways, I kind of have to go. So I think we should leave it there.
I'm
excited. 6 races to go. It's going to be stressful. I'm going to meme through it as I have been the whole time. And we'll see what happens.
I know. I feel like I'm very relaxed because neither of my drivers are anywhere near it, so it's fine.
I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. But as I said, if McLaren can just fuck off and let them just do their thing, that will be better for everyone because we'll get a clean, maybe not clean, but we'll get a true shootout for it.
Agreed.
And then whoever wins, wins.
Yeah, may the best man win.
Exactly, and that's what I'm here for.
Yes, exactly.
Uncomplicated. Just go at it.
Agree.
Have fun. Full send. Let's see some good racing.
Yes.
Anyways, if you're listening on an app, give us a 5-star review because it really helps us out. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video, comment your thoughts and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And we'll see you next time.